Minimum viable product. What to start from. Discover 6 fundamental steps you have to go through when you start your MVP. This is a must-watch video for product owners. From theory to practice. In our previous videos, we have discovered what does MVP stand for, what types of MVP are there in the market, and where MVP lays in the whole product pipeline. We're good with the terms, now let's move on to how you can build an MVP. Step number 1, comprehensive research. Before you start, you have to get an insight to the problem and the solution. You'll have to answer a number of questions like what is your market, who are the people who face the problem, how you can help them to resolve it. Let's pick the major questions you will have to answer. Which exact problem your MVP is meant to solve? You have to think about the value your product brings to your customers and how will they benefit from it. For this, you can use the value proposition canvas. Click the card above to see how it works. Which sort of users will be interested in your product? You have to understand who will buy your product. Certain categories of users have their specific needs and specific requirements that can help you to improve your product and make it as user-friendly as possible. What are the existing solutions to this problem? Competitors' research can help you to identify the pitfalls and avoid them in your product. Step number 2, identify MVP features and prioritize them. The next step deals with the features you want to have implemented in your product. You have to come up with a product vision and list the features you want to see there. Once you have this done, you need to prioritize them. For this, we use the Moscow approach. We take all of the tasks and features we have and divide them into must-haves, should-haves, could-haves, and want-haves. Watch our next video where we will describe the Moscow approach in more detail. At the MVP stage, you're likely to have one top priority feature that conveys the product core value. Step number 3, MVP approach selection. All you have to do at this step is to decide with which type of MVP you'll be moving forward. This can be a no product, product mockup, or one feature MVP. Your choice should be based on the idea to be validated and the available resources you have. Step number 4, success criteria identification. Before you start building your MVP, you have to know how will you evaluate it. How will you understand is your MVP a success or a failure? This question should be answered in advance. We advise you to come up with a list of actionable metrics and success criteria you'll be tracking. We will discuss the most valuable key metrics to track in our next video. Step number 5, prepare a story map. Story mapping is an essential step for you to list your features and to come up with a product backlog. Story mapping consists of 4 fundamental components: goals, activities, job or user stories, and tasks. Goals underlie the pivotal vision of your product. To achieve your goals, you have to complete the activities. Activities, in turn, require the implementations of tasks and features that can be turned into job or user stories. With the story map, you get a convenient tool to identify pains and gains associated with your product. Step number 6, MVP launch. Now it's time to launch your minimum viable product and get your first user feedback. Remember to track the key metrics to evaluate the results of your MVP. Remember that a negative result is also a result. The key aim of MVP is to test your product with the real users. And even if your MVP appeared to be unsuccessful, this is a good sign for you to pivot and focus on resolving different kind of customer problems.